Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, good morning. Thank you
Good
so much
morning.
for having us in your home this bright and hot Thursday.
Well, you know, we're starting to see some rains in Belize City at least. In Bamapan as well. Okay, I haven't been in Bamapan yesterday and neither was I this morning, but some sort of relief for those in Belize City who's been surviving next to the sun for the past couple of weeks. Literally, we've been walking with the sun, holding hands, and so
I believe it was Monday where I looked at my phone for the temperature, and it said 98 degrees, but feels like 116.
Yes, I saw that.
What?
Yeah, so for those who may be in bed still, just waking up, tuning in, just know outside the weather is changing a bit, and I think that was expected. The weather folks over there at Meteorological Service, they called it, and so get your umbrellas if you need to today. Not for the sun this time, but for the rain. If you have your raincoat, you're riding your motorcycle, just be prepared for some showers and some wetness during these dry days.
You know, everybody said yes, some rain and yeah, be cool. But I don't know about you, but I feel like the weather, the temperature just gets more humid after the rain comes.
That tends to happen. But either way, we're thankful for the little showers of blessings that we're getting. I know I am. I know that farmers are. I always say whenever it rain, farmers, they don't complain because they're thankful that the fields get the much needed moisture.
That's true.
And so, speaking of moisture, let's move over to what's buzzing. And what's buzzing in the moistest part of the world, the ocean. Like yesterday, a colleague of mine, Marian Ali, took the trip to San Pedro, where we received the reports of an alarming situation, not a new situation, but an alarming situation pertaining to Sargassum. If you've been on the island recently, you would have noticed that this Sargassum has basically taken over beaches along the coast of the island. So across the island, the situation is serious. So what you're seeing there, you're seeing this Sargassum washed up on the beach, and it extends for a good bit of distance from the beach out into the water. And so it's a situation where we thought to ourselves, we've heard complaints, we've been hearing complaints from residents, including tour operators, including hotel operators. And so we said, all right, we need to go and see what's the situation out there. Now, April, this is not a new...
No, this happens almost the same time of the year.
Interestingly, though, what we noted yesterday was that the occurrences were minimal to none during the pandemic. So, well, we're still in a pandemic. I always have to fix my language. At the height of the pandemic, the situation with Sargassum was minimal to none. If you could recall last year, we didn't necessarily have this issue.
Or the year before.
Or the year before, we didn't necessarily have this issue. So I don't know what sort of correlation there was there. I don't know if the weather pattern had changed or whatever.
You know, every time things like that happen, I always have to say it's the impact of human activity.
Oh.
And
that's interesting, you know.
Yeah,
That's
because we had a in class we had these discussions about the growth of the ecology throughout the world and the ecosystem, going back to a different norm before like fast traffic of human activity. And I think that for the most part, whenever we are taking heavy cargo, you move your waves. Whenever you are on a boat fishing, you tilt the waves, you move the waves, you change the patterns of certain seaweed and certain seagrass to different directions.
It's interesting.
I'm not a scientist by any means, right? This is just observation.
Right.
But yeah, we have a huge impact on the way these kinds of things go. And with the fast pace of, boosting the economy not after the height of the pandemic, we're getting to this place where, okay, everybody needs things now because we had such a lockdown and a standstill for the better part of 2 years. And so we're moving things at a faster pace. More people are traveling, more cargo is being distributed. All of these human activities create the slight changes in the ecosystem.
I never thought we'd have a conversation about human activity and how it relates to sargassum washing up on beaches, but the more and more I do stories out in the sea, I notice I'm beginning to learn how much human activities actually affect the entire ecosystem. Like we were out at Half Moon Key, and this is just a quick diversion. Getting back to Sargassum, we were out at Half Moon Key recently where we were learning about sharks and the rehabilitation process out there, and we found out that sharks were returning during the height of the pandemic. The shark population was increasing because, well, of course, the maritime borders were closed and there was less human activity. So now, what we see in the change of factors over this year is a change in human activity and human behavior across the ocean.
It wouldn't surprise me that we have been that leading factor in certain migrations of different species throughout the ecosystem and so forth. But that's something for, maybe we should have the environmental group one of these days come and discuss that.
Definitely. But the sargassum, back to the sargassum issue, April. So it's a huge issue. Whenever it happens, it affects the tourism industry, and especially on such a booming tourist destination like Ambergris Key, San Pedro. So yesterday, Marion spoke with the mayor, who basically gave an overview of the situation and their plans to address it. And that includes some community efforts. And so we see tour guides joining the effort to clean up their beaches. Every time I look at the sargassum situation, whenever it becomes this bad, this severe, I feel for those that have to clean the beaches on a daily basis, because it almost looks, I don't know how it feels, but almost looks like a futile effort, because you do it in the morning and within a few hours you see the beach filled again with sargassum.
But I will tell you that one thing that I was listening to the Minister of Blue Economy, Honorable Andre Perez. He said that the best way to deal with the sargassum problem would be in not scooping it up from the beach, so like getting to it before it gets to the beach side, but of course that costs.
Well, not only does it cost, but it's a lot. When we were traveling to Half Moon Key, you just the vast amount of sargassum out there. Like, if we think that we've seen it all, let me tell you, you drive out a few miles off the coast of Belize, and you'll see what's coming. Sargassum is out there, and a lot is headed to Belize.
It kind of makes you take a step back and think about, again, and I know, like you said, you never made the connection of human activity, but small things like, chopping down mangroves and these kinds of things that we do because maybe we need to be a little bit more industrial, that we kind of ruin the natural flow of of the ecosystem that helps us to divert to like the problems that were happening at Silk Key and Monkey River and so forth. I understand the need for development, right? I understand the need for development. If we're not development, if we're not developed, we're not going nowhere. But we haven't been able to find a way to develop sustainably. And so I'm very curious to see how the task force that the Ministry of the Blue Economy is providing to Silk Key and hopefully to Monkey River, how they will tackle that problem in a sustainable manner. Grow some mangroves, you know, try our best to build back the beachfront, because the water that is coming in a natural state. You know, whatever we do around it is what's going to affect that flow.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, the Sargassum is definitely affecting tourism on the island. Yes. We spoke to one hotel owner last night yesterday, Myron spoke to one hotel owner who informed her that he basically now have to reimburse his guests, including night stays, free night stays, free meals, because they're complaining. Yep. We know what happens if you've been around Sargassum, you know what happens when it begins to rot. Well, first of all, when the Sargassum reaches onto the beach at that large quantity, you're not able to use
it's dead.
The beach. That's it. You can't even clear a path to say, all right, I'll clear this path and then I'll go and swim here. It's basically you have to clean the entire beach. So one, it's affecting tourists. Two, you think about the amount of money that the that the council has to pay or has to utilize to get this cleaned up, because now it requires manpower to move along the coast, the entire coast, to get these beaches cleaned. And these are the beaches
and then what do they do? How do they dispose of the Sargassum afterwards?
Well, that's a question. That's a question to put. I know that for the most part, Sargassum is used for landfill. And I would imagine that's what's happening here in San Pedro. But the amount of investment that needs to be made by the city council to get these beaches cleaned up on a daily basis, and then the manpower that's needed, you need hands on the ground to clean
it's one of those things where I'm looking at the video there and I'm seeing how they scoop it up and stuff, and the beach is coming with more. Yeah. So as he scoops up, more is coming, and it's like a lost cause almost. But I'm very curious to see how they're going to try to tackle this issue in a sustainable manner.
Yeah, right? And I understand that just on a larger scale that this is not something unique to Belize, but they're seeing it in beaches along Mexico. Right. They're seeing it in other parts of the Caribbean like Jamaica, and so it's definitely something we'll continue to keep an eye on.
Especially those that you live in the coast, you know, we definitely think that that's something that you have to deal with on a regular basis, and so we'll try our best to keep everybody updated as well.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we have to get into our show for this morning, and we hope that we'll be able to brighten your Thursday with some motivation, and we will be reading our eye-opener this morning taken from Dailium.com, and our eye-opener goes like this. We develop grace as we learn with the guiding hand of the universe. Life will unfold exactly the way it should. The idea of trusting the universe is a popular one these days, but many of us don't know what this really means, and we often have a hard time doing it. This is partly because the story of humankind is most often presented as a story about struggle, control, and survival, instead of one of trust and collaboration with the universe. Yet in truth, we need to adhere to both ideas in this life. On the one hand, there is much to be said about exerting control over our environment. We created shelter to protect ourselves from the elements. We hunted for animals and invented agriculture to feed ourselves. We built social infrastructures to protect ourselves and create community. This is how we survive and grow as a civilization. However, it is also clear that there are plenty of things that we cannot control, no matter how hard we try, and we often receive support from an unseen force, a universe that provides us with what we cannot provide for ourselves. It is a good idea to take responsibility for the things in life that we cannot control or create. But at a certain point, when we have done all that we can, we must let go and allow the universe to take over. What do you think? Okay, he's pondering with this one.
I'm just pondering because giving away your trust or giving away your control is never an easy thing to do, especially in times when you feel like the boat is rocking and the waves are shaking and the captain doesn't really seem to know what he or she is doing. And I'm not speaking about any particular situation. Captain, probably the universe to call the captain, whoever you may call the captain may not, you in yourself, you don't feel like, oh, they don't know what then they do, because why my life, they go in this direction, why things feel so unstable, and it's easier to not sit back and say, Captain, you got it. You're experienced.
But I like the part that it says that it's because the story of humankind is often presented about human beings fending for themselves. You know, whenever we talk about history in a sense, it's always about the achievements of people and the appreciation for human self and humanism and the expressions and innovations of human beings. So when we talk about control and giving it to an unseen force, yes, you know, you could have your faith in the universe, you could have your faith in your beliefs, but it's a lot more difficult to give away that faith when you need yourself to be in control, or when something is happening that's bad, right? You are either in disbelief or you need to figure out a way to fend for yourself because nobody not gonna save you, right? Sometimes it's hard to say things happen for a reason, and we just have to try our best to trust in the universe that it will be okay. I have that problem.
What are some of the situations that requires us to lose or let go of control? For example, you lose a loved one, a loved one of yours passes away. Maybe you had control for some time, but there was a point where you realized you had no more control. Perhaps someone you cared for walked out of your life. You had control for some time, but at some point you have no more control, or you were terminated from a job that you loved. And in these moments like these are difficult, they're challenging, and of course you would want to do anything in your power to try and keep that person from passing away, to try and keep that person from leaving, convincing however you can, crying the tears you want to cry to keep that person in your life, or pleading with your boss or your former employer to keep that job when you know that your time has come. What I find in life, that the things we stress and worry and try to control, that they have a way of working themselves out, and you have situations in life where when you look back, after a few months, sometimes weeks, sometimes years have passed, when you look back, you ask yourself, all right, I wasted energy worrying, trying to take control of that situation, why did I do that? Because look where I am right now. And in most cases, in a lot of cases, you find yourself in a much better place.
Very true. So wherever you are this morning, today, try your best to trust the universe, and see how that takes you. But we have to get moving into our show for this morning, and we have to get into our daily forecast. And we have Catherine Cumberbatch on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, yes.
Hi, Catherine. How are you? Hello.
Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, everybody.
Yes. Fine.
Okay. Have nothing to complain, just to give the weather to you guys.
All right, let's get it on. Miss Catherine, tell us the forecast for today.
Okay, first of all, the general situation is that we have a light east-northeast layer prevailing. And what we are looking at for the next 24 hours is for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells today. And high temperatures are forecast to reach 88 along the coast, 96 inland, and 82 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy, and low temperatures will be 79 along coastal areas, 70 inland, and 66 in the higher elevations. Showers will be generally isolated, and also you could expect afternoon or evening thunderstorms to develop over the mountains and along the Belize-Guatemala border. As for the winds will be coming out of the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be slight. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for fair weather to prevail with only isolated showers. In the Sargassum forecast, the forecast is for most Sargassum mats to drift on our beaches during the coming days. And in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and bush fires will continue to be high. And that's basically what we have for you guys for today.
All right. Thank you. You heard it here first from the Meteorological Service of Belize. Thank you so much, Catherine, and we hope you have a good day.
You too, guys. Have a good day, and most of all, stay safe.
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, April. So there we had it. Some wet, some dry.
Lots of sargassum.
A lot of sargassum. It's just the weather at this time.
I just stopped. I stopped trying.
Right? Look at the way you want to.
Right. So we have a wonderfully packed show for you all this Thursday morning. And this morning we have the launch of the Population and Housing Census provided by the Statistical Institute of Belize. And they will be joining us to discuss more about how you should try your best to be included in that census for this year 2022. It's
an important discussion because it's been years and we need this population census. So I'm looking forward to that discussion. In our second conversation, of course, we have our folks from Digi back with us. We're making this a tradition now where Digi comes on Thursdays.
I feel like every time they come on, I forget, and then I have to go download Digi-wallet.
Oh, let's do that before they come on, April, so they don't have to ask us about that. And so Digi will be on, and they'll be telling us all about the Digi deals that they will have at the National Agriculture and Trade Showground. So that's our second conversation.
That's going to be a big one. And of course, we're going to be discussing the launch of the 2022 BTB and Anthony Mahler Mundialito tournament. Yeah. I think that's going to be such a cute conversation. And we will have a few of the coordinators discussing the event.
And then April.
I know you may look forward to this.
If you want to find something for this weekend to do that it's not going to be too crowded.
And I believe you.
We have the folks over from Project X, paint, powder, water.
I know who on it is, and that Paul.
Well,
Paul
I don't give my whereabouts on national
Well, I just give it on national TV. Paul and
so
Project
we'll
X.
have the folks from Project X who will be coming on to discuss the return of this wonderful event.
So it's a packed Thursday, Friday Junior show. But before we get moving, we have to take a short break. And when we come back, the 2022 census. Stick around.
usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
My name is Wilmer De La Rosa from Santa Elena Town. I am currently a student at Cayo Set for Employment Training, enrolled in the Electrical Installation Program. In late July 2021, I got a confirmation that I was a successful applicant and would be granted a scholarship from Social Security Board. It was one of the proudest moments for me. I felt very excited to start this new path in my life. So far on my journey as a Social Security Board scholar, my vocational technical scholarship has assisted me in achieving my life goals in so many ways. For one, it has a new sense of purpose, another chance at professional development when I start a new career. This opportunity has been a way for me to excel as a individual and as a member of society. Great things are coming after I graduate from Census, and I promise you that. Applying for a vocational technical scholarship through the Social Security Board is simple and easy. I would advise young people in need to apply. It is possible to create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a Social Security scholarship. Believe in yourself and your abilities and skills. I always say the key is to always keep an open mind and let your determination be your motivation.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
are back, and joining us this morning, we have our friends at the Statistical Institute of Belize, and in studio with us, we have Ms. Diana Castillo-Trejo, who is the Acting Director General at SIB, and via Zoom, we have Ms. Miriam Willoughby, who is the Acting Deputy Director General at SIB. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so I really want to start off by having this discussion with what is a population census and why is it important that any institution takes a hold of having this population census?
Okay, well, the population and housing census is basically the biggest data collection exercise that any country can do. It is where we not only count everyone in the population, but we visit every single household in the country and we collect information on the household, on characteristics of the house, the dwelling, on the persons who live there, and we put together a whole lot of information on a wide variety of topics: health, crime, economic activity, age structure, education. And basically that information is what informs the government for the next 10 years in terms of creating its policies, planning things like where to build schools and hospitals and so on. So that information is very vital, and it is for the development of the country for an entire decade.
Right.
So let's kind of set the stage here. You of course, you briefly went over various aspects of the census and the data it collects. Let's start with perhaps the first and most common idea of what a census does, which is to count the population. It's counting the amount of people that is in Belize. When's the last time we counted how many persons we have in Belize?
The last time we did a census count was in 2010.
2010.
So normally, we are. Normally, it's an exercise that's done every 10 years. But because of the pandemic, we had to postpone for 2 years. So it's 12 years since we did the last one.
How do we then, or how have we been going about estimating how many persons are in Belize? It could be 500,000 at this point. It could be 1 million persons in Belize. I think that's unlikely.
That's a stretch.
But I'm saying, what do we use to estimate?
Yeah, so in between censuses, we do estimates every year. Mrs. Willoughby can shed some light on that, but according to our estimates right now, we are somewhere around 410, 420,000 persons. But Mrs. Willoughby maybe could speak to that.
Between censuses, we do an estimate. So based on the last census, we saw that our population grew around 2.6% per year. And so we use that figure to extrapolate every year. So right now, actually, we estimate to be way over 400,000 by the time we finish our census, hopefully by the end of July of this year. So we should be somewhere around 440,000 is what we're estimating.
How do you calculate that? How do you do that estimate?
Every year we estimate that the population, we do a growth rate, we project a growth rate based on previous censuses, and then we extrapolate that throughout the course of the year. So every year we're increasing by about 2.6%.
So I always have this this idea that, Belize is just like 6 countries pretending to be one. And I say that because, we're so diverse in ethnic groups and different cultural backgrounds. And so I guess my question is, how do you maneuver certain cultural challenges and differences when you have to go around doing the count every time?
Well, first of all, what we try to do is we try to recruit persons to do data collection who live in the communities that they'll be collecting data from. So these are persons who are familiar with the community, persons are familiar with them. They would know any of these cultural nuances that need to be aware of. But also from our experience working in different communities, we do know, there are certain cultural differences, certain cultural practices that must be respected. And so we try to work along with these communities. The idea is that we need to get this information and we need the communities to cooperate with us. And so, you know, whatever it is that we have to do, however it is that we have to work with them.
I always have this well, I've observed it, that people see statistics to come and they close the door. They don't want talks. Yes. So why is that an attitude that people tend to have towards the sense? I'm just saying, right? You close your door because you don't want to know how much people live in your house. So why is that such a challenge?
You know, people are just naturally wary. I think people are just naturally wary of anyone coming to ask for information, even more so if they think it's a government agency. But you know, we do household surveys every year, and we get very good cooperation from the households that we survey. So we have good interviewers. Again, it's people that they're familiar with from their community. So you know, you'd be surprised, although there is some hesitancy, we get very good cooperation for the most part from households. And something that we have to emphasize is that the information that we're collecting is not going to be shared with any other agency. No government agency, nothing will be published that can identify an individual person or their household. Everything is strictly confidential. That's just kept within the SIB for doing statistics.
So we talked about counting heads in homes. That's one aspect. Another aspect is collecting financial data or data on financial standing. Speak to us about what are some of the questions asked in that respect to kind of gauge what's the financial standing of a home, and then what that data is used to determine.
Okay, we collect a couple things. We do collect data on household income, on the income of individuals who are employed in the household. We also collect data on things that would speak to the living standard of the household, such as the types of assets that they own and the type of access to certain basic services that they have. So it's not just income, but we try to put together a whole picture of how that household is living in terms of their living standard, and income is just a part of it.
And that you use to determine unemployment, poverty rate, etc.
Well, the income, income is just going to be used basically to give a measure, you know, of what is the average income of our households. But things like the ownership of assets and access to services, those we will use to formulate some poverty estimates. Mrs. Willoughby could speak to that a little bit more, but for the first time out of this census in 2022, we will be able to use that data to produce some poverty estimates.
Yeah, Ms. Willoughby?
Ms. Willoughby?
For the income section, we also ask about income from employment. And that way we could get a gauge for like what the average salary would be for a particular occupation. So we ask there's a section about economic activity, what type of occupation do you do, where do you work, and that way when we get to the questions on income, we will ask you how much do you make from that particular, whether it's weekly or monthly, and then we can say, okay, average income for this occupation is X amount of dollars. This year, for this census rather, the multidimensional poverty index is one that we want to get. So it actually includes several components from the census questionnaire. So when we ask you like about certain amenities that your household have, like your sanitation facilities, how do you access water, those type of questions feed into or provide the information that's needed to calculate the multidimensional poverty index. When we ask you about questions on education, that also school enrollment, are you currently enrolled in school, or what's the highest level of education that you have completed? So there are several things that is included in the multidimensional poverty index measure. We're also including questions on food security of a household. That was not included in the last population and housing census. So we're looking at whether your household the level of deprivation that your household have, whether you went to bed hungry at any time, whether you had to eat less food because you don't have enough money to buy food, whether you had to eat maybe foods that you did not really want to, but you had to because you did not have enough money to buy the food that you actually wanted to eat. So we really try to capture that aspect of it, and including that in the questionnaire, so that we could get a lot more information, useful information from the data that we collect in the census.
Sort of information would tie into perhaps security and poverty rates and so forth in the country. Let me ask you this question: where does the information go after it's collected? And I know that when students are doing research about any kind of statistical information, they go to SIB or they log on to your website. But who also has access to that information, and where does it go whenever you're done?
Okay, so when the data is collected, and we are collecting data just by tablets this time, all our tablets have internet connectivity. So when the data is collected, our interviewers will sync to our servers in the SIB, and immediately that data is uploaded. It's not on the tablet anymore, it's immediately uploaded to the server, and that is where the data is stored. It's on our servers, it's secure. There is no person or no agency outside of the SIB, and even within the SIB, only persons who are authorized to have access to the database will have access to it. By the time data is published, we have already cleaned that data, we have already aggregated it, so we're looking at summations, sums, totals, averages, percentages, and that's the kind of information that we will publish on our website. There is nothing identifiable that will be published.
What are the, well, I have two questions, but I'll just ask this one. Well, first let me ask, is it the intent of the exercise to capture every single household, or just a percentage of the population? That's part one. And two, when it comes to remote communities, what are the challenges there, and how do we overcome those challenges?
Okay, I'll take the first question, and I'll ask Mrs. Willoughby to take the second. But yes, the intention is to visit every single household.
Every single household.
So we have planned and budgeted to visit over 100,000 households. That's how many households we estimate are in the country. Every single household. We don't have to interview every single individual. As long as there is an adult in the house who is knowledgeable about the other household members, that person can be interviewed on behalf of everyone. Some people, we've heard people say, well, I wasn't interviewed the last time, but that is very likely the reason. So yes, we will visit every single household. That's the whole purpose of a census.
And if somebody come out and say, my mom is not here, you come back?
We do come back,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ms. Willoughby, to the second question?
Yeah.
Yes, in terms of the remote communities, in preparation for the census, one of the first things that we do is to visit different communities that we would expect from our experience that we may have some challenges with. So we did that during the month of November. We went to different communities across the country, and public awareness is a huge part of the success of a census. So, we took the time, explain the purpose of the census, when the census will start, the importance of their participation. We also observed that in some communities, because of religious purposes, they may not allow us to use the tablets because it's an electronic device. So we have to make preparations for those, like areas to use paper questionnaires instead, and then we enter that afterwards. There are communities where we may need to use horses, where we may need to use canoes or boats. Wow. So we know that ahead of time. So we look at each area. We divide the country into what we call enumeration districts. So we have 961 of those areas spread across the country. We look at each one of them and we say, okay, for this area, we need a four-wheel vehicle. For this area, we need a boat. For this one, we need horses. So we literally go across the details of that so that we are able to reach every single building, every single household in this country.
You imagine, April, the logistics. I mean, I picture it as this team of workers just being sent out across the country and say, go and collect this data, even if you have to ride on a horseback. I've been riding from across the mountains since last night to get here.
I feel like you need to go with them and do a story.
I probably do, especially if they're in canoes and a horseback. But let's talk a bit about recruitment.
Yes.
And what that has been like, and what's the size of the team at this point?
Okay, at this time we have around about 600 or 500 plus interviewers that are going out into the field starting tomorrow. Today is our final day of getting everyone ready to go out tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll actually be visiting the households. We need more people than that. Recruitment has been a challenge. It started with, issues related to the pandemic. We had a couple months of face-to-face recruitment and interviews early in the year, but unfortunately there was a wave of the pandemic at that same time, and so we had a lot of persons who couldn't come to their interviews, and we remain short-staffed. Our HR team, they are working just about every day and late in the evenings to recruit more people, and we are going to be having another round of training later on this month. Because we were short of staff, however, we are hoping that we will be able to fill those gaps and get the remaining numbers. It's been a challenge because, as you said, it's hard work, and there's some intense training that has to take place before, and we expect some amount of dropouts when people get in the field and they realize it's very hard work.
I want to follow up on Paul's question with how do you profile for recruitment? And when it comes to certain rural areas where the language barrier might be a problem, how do you get people to be a part of the team in certain areas?
Ms. Miriam?
Sure. So for areas like where we know the language, they speak more than just English. So we would actually hire people who may be bilingual, English, Spanish, or if they speak Mayan. So during the recruitment process, when these persons are being interviewed, we already know that to work in this area, we need at least maybe 2 persons that speak this particular language. For some of the Mennonite community, we also include them where we train them. We have to do special training for them because when we go to these households, they may better understand using their own language versus English. Sometimes they don't want to work as enumerators, but they work as translators. So, those are things that you have to do in advance so that when data collection starts, you can have a smooth flow of it. With respect to recruitment, I do want to, and I see you have it on the screen, encourage people to still apply. We are still accepting applications at this time for interviewers. They can contact our Human Resource Department, 822-2207, extension 211 or 634-1349. That's the direct line to them. We do have, if you go on our website, we have our online application form available, but if you're not sure how to complete it or if you want to call them, then that's fine. But we're really encouraging people. We still need about 300 or so interviewers.
Wow.
Yes. So we want to strongly encourage people to apply.
And ideally you want them to be available until late July. That's
Correct.
when the census wraps up.
So this would be a good opportunity for students that are just finishing high school or college students that are not taking courses and can go to do something over the summer break, and it's good for your references, right?
That's if they qualify.
Ms. Diana? Yes.
Right. The qualification for an interviewer is a minimum of a high school diploma. We are asking for persons who have been vaccinated as well as a safety precaution. But other than that, it is a great opportunity for students, especially since we are offering this late round of training later this month. Students should be out on vacation, and it is an opportunity for them to earn some extra money.
What's the average hourly rate, if I can ask that question?
We don't pay an hourly rate, we pay per household, and it's just the nature of the work. Because of the nature of the work, that is how we pay. But Mrs. Willoughby could probably give maybe more or less what it works out to for an interviewer who basically fills their quota for the week. What we expect an average interviewer to complete for the week.
Okay.
Right. So on average, well, we pay by output, right? We don't pay our or a fixed rate for interviewers. For our supervisors, yes, but for interviewers, however hard you work is how much you're going to get paid. On average, we see that persons could make from anywhere from about $250 per week and higher. We've done this several times, tested it, and that's about the average rate. But if the harder you work, the more money you make is what we say. So you really have to push there. On average, we expect you to at least do about 5 interviews per day. It's a 6-day work week, Monday through Saturdays. And then the team is allowed to, not necessarily Monday through Saturdays, it's a 6-day work week. We give the team 1 day off for the week. We prefer if they work on the weekends because, that's when we find a lot of people home. So normally they would take their day off, maybe Monday or Wednesday or stuff like that. But we do want them to be available to work on weekends and sometimes in the evenings as needed.
Yeah. So that's great. Let's talk a bit as we wind down about the cost, the overall cost of this population census.
The cost of the fieldwork alone is upwards of $5 million, just fieldwork. That is the cost of visiting every single household, collecting data on 400,000 plus persons. Mrs. Willoughby mentioned all the transportation costs. We have to move people around. We have to sometimes go in very remote areas. So all of that, the cost of data collection is around $5 million, a little bit more than that. We have been preparing for 6 years, so the cost is even more than that. We've been doing mapping, we've been doing advertising, we've been doing testing of our questionnaire and other work in the field. So really the cost is more than that over several years, but just the data collection cost is about that.
So I want to get back into the overall collection of the data, and you said you all have it and it's in your servers and so forth. So whenever somebody goes and researches for the demographics of Belize and they get it on the CIA.org website or something like that, how do you navigate with other international organizations to get that data out there?
Okay, we supply data to certain international organizations, so the UN agencies normally have a set of data that they would collect every year, and we supply that to them, or some of them go directly to our website. Most of the international organizations will recognize that the Statistical Institute is the official source of statistics for the country, so that is where they would get it. Of course, we can't speak to where all these websites get their information. Sometimes we come across information and we try to figure out where exactly they source that from. But for the most part, the UN agencies and the other large international agencies would source their data from us directly.
Yeah.
Any last words, any final words for the viewers about the census?
Yes, I just want to encourage all households to look out for us, to participate. The information that's shared with us is completely confidential, and this is for the development of our country. This is for developing everyone's own community. Our people are well trained. They're going to be out there to get this done, get it done well, and get it done quickly and safely. So when we come to your house, we just ask that you let us in and participate.
Does the census kick off in all districts at the same time?
All at the same time.
Then that's tomorrow.
Yes, so tomorrow, as of tomorrow, persons can expect to see our interviewers out in the field in their teams. You can recognize them from there. They will be wearing vests with our logo. They will have an ID card. In the rural areas, they'll be traveling in vehicles that have our SIB logo on them, so they'll be easy to identify. And as of tomorrow, you can expect to see them in just about every area of the country.
All right.
Ms. Willoughby, any final thoughts?
Yes, definitely we want to ask households to please participate with us. If they're ever in doubt of who these persons are, they can ask them to show their ID. They should be wearing it, but if you don't see it, you can always ask them to show their ID. Every single person will have an identification card with them, and they can always call our office at the same number, 822-2207. We can always provide more information if needed. So we really want to encourage households to participate.
All right, and of course, you can always be a member of the recruitment team. You just have to apply online. All right, Paul, you be part of the census tomorrow, definitely.
Well, whenever they pass my household, house single.
Where you do your census, I believe it there,
that's a good question. But it's definitely something we want to encourage Belizeans across the nation to participate in. When you see them, to be willing to have confidence in the fact that this information will be utilized, as our guest rightfully mentioned, for the development of the nation. So we want to thank them for coming on to tell us about this important topic. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll have Digi to tell us all about their deals for the National Agriculture and Trade Showgrounds. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Full-Tech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
1 year and a half ago, our economy was on life support. A government of the People's United Party had a clear plan to rebuild our banking system, to jumpstart our public and private sectors, and to put our people back to work. Today, Belize is open for business, and our economy is stable and growing. Small and large companies in every part of the country are hiring. New industries are opening up, and investor confidence is high. In every sector, there is real and meaningful growth because this is a government that is serious and committed. In a year and a half, we have done so much together. Let us continue on this strong record. Forward together. We will continue to deliver on Plan Belize.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicell or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
All right, and welcome back. In our second segment, as we promised, we have the Digi team here with us, and they're here to discuss everything deals at the National Agriculture and Trade Show. And so in studios, we have with us Miss Abigail Neal. She's the solution specialist at Digi-Belize. Good morning.
Good morning.
Abigail. And we have Miss Sarah McCarthy from Digi-wallet at Digi-Belize. Good morning to both of you ladies.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
How are you both doing?
Doing great.
All right.
We're happy to be here to share, all the deals that we have going on with you.
Right. That's great. We are always excited when Digi is on because they always got deals. Let me tell you, April.
We always have to go through them and make sure that we have enough time to get through every single one of those deals. But we usually advertise for, the stuff that you have on your website and the stuff that's happening virtually. But this time, for the first time in about 2-3 years, it will be live in person where you can get these deals. So talk to us about that. Talk to us about getting back into the Agric showgrounds.
Sure. So we do have the Agric coming up at the end of May, May 27th to 29th, and Digi will be there. So customers and new potential customers can expect the best deals at the showgrounds. So you could expect, ridiculously low phone and device prices, right? Very affordable. You could expect recharge or top up promotions, of course, so look out for that. And we do have a version of that promotion that will be countrywide as well as at the showgrounds. And then, of course, we will be having DigiNet deals, right? So it doesn't matter what solution you're looking for, you will have a deal to benefit from at the Agric showgrounds.
One of the things that I haven't been to showgrounds in a while. We're saying that off camera, but it doesn't matter what day that you go to Agric show, that you will never get into a line properly at Digi's booth, because it just goes around and out, and no matter how much time you try get into a line and you see kind of to go closer, it always extends out.
What I like about the Digi booth is that even if you don't buy something, there seems to always be giveaways.
There's always giveaways.
So you can always
that is right.
win something or get something. I feel happy. I get this Digi pen.
Right. And it will be the same this year, even better. So we will have raffles every day. We will have giveaway. We will have Digi merch. So if you visit, or booth, you of course have the chance to walk away with something, even if you didn't, spend money with us. So as well, though, even before Agric arrives, we do have Cashfest this weekend.
Cashfest.
Right. So Sarah can share a bit more.
Let's go, Sarah. Let's hear about what Digi's doing at
Cashfest.
I hope you drink Cashew wine.
All right. So we will be at Cashfest this weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday, right? So we're encouraging customers to come out to check out the booths, and especially check out the Digi-wallet booth, right? Because we love giving away cash as well, right? And so we're giving away cash, right?
I like cash.
Right? So I'm sure
we like cash money, paper money,
so
crispy.
It's not gonna be paper money
because
we're going electronic, right? So I'm sure everybody's heard the buzz about the Digi-wallet app. If you haven't downloaded it, go ahead and download it now, right? Because at Cashfest we'll be giving away $100, $50. We'll be giving away dinner for two, right? And it's so easy for you to just win these things, right? If whichever customer is out there who refers the most friends to the booths to sign up can win a dinner for two at any one of our merchants, up to $150, right? Take a selfie, take a picture at the booth, and you get a chance to win $50 DigiCash, right? All you have to do is hashtag it Digi-wallet Cashfest 2022, right?
Wow.
So easy ways to win, right? For every $10 you cash into your wallet at our booth, right, you get a chance to get entered into a raffle to win $100 DigiCash, right? Wow. And DigiCash, it's better than regular cash. It's better than cold hard cash because it's safer, it's more convenient, right? Think about it. You don't have to carry around a wallet, a purse with you anymore. All you need is your cell phone.
Yeah,
you just pull out your cell phone anywhere and you can pay for something, right? And one of the things that we have over all our competitors that they can't brag about, right, is that you don't need internet access, right? So if you don't have Wi-Fi, if you don't have data, you still have access to your money. You can still pay for things, you can still receive money. And for this weekend alone, right, we'll be offering triple up via the Digi-wallet app, right? So whenever you add credit via the Digi-wallet app, you get triple your credit, not double, but triple your credit, right? And for the entire month of May, when you use your Digi-wallet app to purchase data bundles from small to large, you get double your data bundles, right? So we're always giving away things. We're always opportunities to win. So if you don't win a raffle, you still win with triple up. You still win with double your data, right?
If I go to Cashfest this weekend and I only have Digi-wallet, will I be able to use it with the other vendors?
So we'll have some vendors out there that are going to be accepting the Digi-wallet app, and we're hoping to get more vendors, right? So we're still soliciting vendors, we're still soliciting merchants, and we're soliciting agents, right? So if you haven't signed up as a merchant or a vendor for the Digi-wallet app, now is your chance, right? Because the more forms of payment you accept, the more revenue comes into your business.
Wow.
Yeah, like I've always said, April, there's more than one ways to win with Digi. It almost sounds like they should be into lottery and listen to technology and money, because you always give away something.
I mean, that's why I wanted to
win.
I wanted to circle back to Abigail, and I wanted to hear more about the DigiNet plans that you all are offering, the deals that you will be offering at Agric.
Sure. Well, not to get specifically into Agric, because we'll be back. We'll be back the week of Agric to talk about the specific Agric deals, right? Yeah. We have to keep them in our back pocket for right now.
They always come with something new.
There will be great deals, but as of right now, there is a really good DigiNet deal going on. We have 1 month free if you sign up for DigiNet, any of our DigiNet plans. So it could be the entry, the $49 plan, it could be the basic, the double, or the triple. All 1 month free and free installation. Yeah. So really and truly, even if you won't be at the Agric showgrounds to take advantage of what is going on out there, you still have this deal going on. It's a limited time offer, so we always encourage customers to come in as soon as possible to sign up. As well, we did want to share that DigiNet is expanding to Armenian Village. So by the end of this month, DigiNet will be launched in that area. So you know that's right outside of Belmopan, right? And so we are accepting applications already. So customers can feel free to place an online application, or they can call 119, or they can go into the nearest Digi office to sign up so that you're first on the list when installation.
So you're seeing that people in Armenia, that they're asking for the service.
They are. So, you know, like any other service, I mean, we had to prioritize certain areas that are more urban, more populated, but now we're going into a new set of expansions for this year, and we're reaching out to a lot of villages, remote communities, and we're coming to you.
Good, because every time I go to some places, I have to hold my hand up for service and make sure that I have
I think it's important.
Yeah. Yes. We're also doing mobile expansions as well, so you could look out for that as well this year.
I think it's important when it comes to access and ensuring that these communities have equal access to the internet, so that students can do their work, so that adults can stay in tune with information and the news and what's happening, because let's be real, a lot of persons, they get their news from social media, from the internet.
That's true.
So what you're doing there is you are not only providing a service, but you're kind of transforming the way households operate and how households have access.
I also wanted to say that because Digi-wallet is being so, it's so popular and it's high demand, and especially since you need the internet for use it, the idea of having Digi-wallet but not having DigiNet, kind of a mix, man. I have to make sure I have both, and so that expansion I think would work flawlessly. Are there any other deals that we can expect this month?
Yes, we also want to remind everyone that we're celebrating Mother's Day for this entire month, right? So we still have the amazing deals that are happening on devices and other services. So we have devices as low as $189, and of course we have the high-end devices as well, right? And every time you purchase a device, you will get free bonus credit, anywhere from $50 up to $150. And customers can use bonus credit to buy SMS bundles. They can use it to make calls locally. They can also use it to make calls internationally, right, to the top 25 countries. So if someone is in the US that you like to call, you could make calls from your bonus credit. So you're literally, you know, getting free credit to use on our services with the purchase of any device. And with the amazing deals, there is a getaway raffle that will be drawn on the 3rd of June. So this gets you a 2-night stay at Kaana Resort in the Cayo district. Very, very nice resort, right? And it also comes with a 60-minute massage, right? Who doesn't want a massage?
For 60 minutes?
You have to be a mother.
I mean, I just asked that question. Yes.
I mean, it's in lieu of Mother's Day and Mother's, you know, the month of May. But anybody can win. To qualify, you need to purchase any of the devices that's on the deals. And then you could also qualify by usage for prepaid credit. So any $10 or more you use, you get an entry into the raffle for mobile prepaid and Diginet prepaid. And then also, if you're a postpaid mobile or Diginet customer, you also qualify based on you paying your bill and being current.
Let me just switch over back to Cashfest for a bit. We spoke about the Digi-wallet deals and promotions that will happen at Cashfest. Will there be other deals and promotions that visitors at Cashfest can look forward to, and how will they be able to identify the Digi-wallet booth? Where will it be?
All right, so we'll be right next to the Diginet booth, right?
Okay.
So we'll be right. You can't miss us, right? There's going to be banners,
big signs
saying detail, and I'm sure you'll be able to follow the long line of customers waiting, right? So one of the pros of having the Digi-wallet app is, right, like you were talking, you always have a long line of customers, especially at agriculture show or any trade show that there's always a long line of customers waiting to put top up in their phone, right? So with the wallet, you can avoid the lines, right? You just have to have your Digi-wallet app and you can top up your phone yourself, right? So you can avoid waiting in the long lines, right? When you visit the booth, like I was saying before, you take a picture at the booth. So even if you just come to sign up, you can take a picture at the booth. Even if you've already had the app, take a picture at the booth and just hashtag it and post it on social media, and you get a chance to win.
What does signing up look like?
All right, so signing up is really simple, really easy, right? So all you have to do is visit the App Store. You can visit it on your iOS or on your Android phone, right? And you just need to download Digi-wallet BZ, right? When you get the app, if you've never signed up before, you click sign up and you'll just fill out the bio data. So it's just your name, your address. You have to have a local number. It doesn't have to be a BTL number. You can have a smart number to register for the app, right? So we're not excluding anybody. Anybody who has a Belize number can sign up for the app, right? And you fill out the biodata. It asks for one picture of your ID, so it could be your social or your passport. You just need to take a picture of that, upload it, so we can know you are who you say you are, right? Because it is your money, and we want to make sure it's safe and secure, right? And that's all it entails to register for the app, right? And it's secure. You'll get a PIN. You reset your PIN when you sign in, and only you have access to the app, right?
I think it's important that we remind people constantly how to top up their Digi-wallet, because people may download the app and say, all right,
I got money now.
I got money, or how do I put money on this so I could use it?
Great. So you can visit any one of the 13 Digi stores countrywide to add funds into your Digi-wallet. Coming soon, we'll be having, you can top it up from your bank account.
Right.
But that's coming soon. We don't have that yet. And soon, hopefully, we'll have more agents locally available in your neighborhood, right? So those are all things to look out for. And as soon as we have those available, we'll be advertising it. We'll be sending out SMS blasts so customers can look out for that. But for right now, you can visit any one of the 13 Digi stores or visit us at any of the trade shows, and you're able to add cash to your wallet.
So
right?
agents are stores. Basically, at this point, the agents are the Digi stores.
Digi stores for right now.
So you just go in and tell them,
I want to add some money on my Digi-wallet app.
And then you pay cash. You give in your cash, and then they give you.
Yes.
What has been the feedback in terms of the ease of use from customers that have been using the app?
Okay, so we've received feedback from customers. They love using the app. It's not hard. It's very easy to use because there is buttons there. The buttons just are very straightforward. You want to top up, you press top up. You want to pay a merchant, you pay a merchant, right? There's a lot of things to do. We have received the feedback that customers would love to have to not visit the offices, and we understand that, right? So we're working really hard to get the bank to wallet portion of the app working and functioning. But we also want to look at, there's a large portion of our population that is unbanked, right? Meaning that they don't have any formal banking accounts, right? So this makes it easier for them because they just need an ID to sign up for the wallet. They don't have to go through all the traditional hoopla of going to a bank, getting a job letter, getting a bill, getting an ID, and having to go through a whole process to sign up, right? They can do it themselves from the comfort of their home, and all they need is an ID, right? And so for them, they just have to visit the store for right now and add cash to their wallet, right? And in the future, hopefully soon, right, they can visit maybe a neighborhood store, a neighborhood merchant, and, well, once they turn an agent, and add cash to their wallet, right? So the point of the wallets, right, that where we're going, right, in the future is we want to help people who are not into the formal banking system, or the younger people who are just finishing school or might probably still be in school. We want them to be able to have some type of financial stability, right? And so this is their way to dip their toes into the water and find financial freedom.
That's really good. What is the merchant to buyer ratio? How many merchants to the buyer?
So as of right now, we have about 500 merchants signed up, and we have about 5,000 subscribers, right? So like I said, we're always encouraging the businesses. We're going out there, we're targeting the businesses, we're asking them, would you like to sign up? It's nothing, it doesn't cost them anything to sign up, right? It's completely free. You don't have to worry about rental of an equipment like you would with a bank. To rent a machine, you don't have to have an account, right? So it's very easy. So we're still signing up every day. We're getting applications from merchants, we're signing up merchants, and we're getting in all those customers, those subscribers signing up every day.
So Digi is also going to be at Cashfest this weekend.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So we have the DigiNet deal that we discussed with them, 1 month free installation. We'll be offering that. Of course, we will have the top-up promotion, not just through the Digi-wallet, but also regular top-up mediums. And then, of course, we have the Make the Switch offer, whereby, you know, we're always encouraging customers, new customers, to come over, try our Digi services. So we have a starter package that we offer with a free LTE SIM, 1 gig of data, so that customers can, you know, start to use the service, get hooked on it.
I just want to know one thing. Is Digi in the process of preparing or producing their long cups? These cups that you walk around.
Oh yes, well, listen, I forget about those.
Listen, that the first thing going to my mind just now. If not, I know the visit no Digi.
Wow. So I only need a long cup for Paul.
At least for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that.
I'll give you the insider information. Yes.
Well, there you go.
You can't go to Digi and not get merch.
Right?
Yes, you need merch, and you can win merch.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
You could win merch. You could win more than merch.
Money.
So we'll
Merch
have great prizes for our raffles at the Agric show. So, you know, look out for that and try to enter to win, right?
Closing thoughts, ladies. It's been a wonderful time.
So we do want to remind customers, borders are open, people are traveling, sort of getting back to normal, abnormal lifestyle. So we do want to encourage you before going over to Chatham Mall to, purchase a data roaming plan, whether you're prepaid or postpaid customer, so that you could stay connected while, traveling.
Right.
Sarah?
We just want to encourage customers to keep signing up, keep registering, right? The app is easy to use. It's so convenient, so convenient. I can't emphasize that more, right? And it's safe, right? So, especially in the times that we're in right now and all the activities and functions that are happening, it's just easier to just carry around just your phone with you, and you have everything conveniently located on that.
Perfect. You heard it here first. So sign up for Digi-wallet. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming. And with that, we're going to take our next break. And when we come back, the 2022 BTB and Anthony Mahler Mundialito. Yes, I love saying that. So stick around. We'll be back.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
The beer of Belize.
This May will be amazing at Benny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from Mom. We have Pyrex bakeware, Chicago cutlery knife sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral dinnerware sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long only at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, smart stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Okay, students, let's focus now.
Teacher, yes, teacher.
Can anyone tell me what sustainable development means? Ganze?
Huh?
Anybody?
Teacher. Last night my dad was talking about sustainable development and he said something about people and nature and something else. Oh, and money.
That's good. But did you ask your dad what sustainable development really means?
Yes, teacher, but he said I was too young to know what that is. Is it something bad?
No, Balisha, it's not bad. It's delicious. Well, at least it looks delicious on the TV.
Can I get some? No, Waldo. You're thinking about edible arrangements. That's what you saw, edible arrangement.
Don't laugh, class. Some people get confused with sustainable development. But when we balance the three things Padisha said, we achieve sustainable development.
What do you mean by balance, teacher?
It is when people use only the resources they need from the forest, rivers, and sea and leave some resources to grow back again.
But teacher, why do people cut down the nice trees that give us shade and kill the poor animals?
Because people need wood to build houses, food to cook, and water to drink.
But teacher, we have enough trees to get wood and enough plants and animals to get food. Good enough that we can sell them and make money.
That may be so, Waldo. We need money to live. But if we use up all the resources, then there will be none left for our friends and families to see later. Do you think that's fair?
No, teacher. That's being greedy. My mom always tells me to use what I need now and save for rainy days.
Exactly.
Teacher, if we take care of Belize's precious resources and practice sustainable development, we and our children can enjoy all of Belize. That's what I learned from the Department of the Environment when they came to present at our school.
Oh, that's excellent, Waldo.
If it continues the way it is going right now, you would be surprised to see what will happen in the next 10, 15 years. We might have nothing left. And you know what? The Guatemala and they could go back home. Where do we have to go? This is our home. We have nowhere to go. So we need some help.
Been drinking all night, feeling so high, better not drive, won't even try.
Been drinking all night, feeling so high, better not drive, ain't gonna try. Been drinking all night, feeling so high, better not drive, ain't gonna try.
All right, welcome back. It's our third segment, and in this segment, we're going to talk about the launch of the 2020 BTB and Anthony 2022. Sorry, why are we still in 2020? BTB and Anthony Mahler Mundialito tournament. You love that word, don't you?
I like that word, Mundialito.
So in studios, we have with us Stanley Reno, aka Jordan. who is the coordinator of this event. We also have Eldon Renault, who is a distant cousin of Stanley Renault, as I understand, and he's a past participant of the U13 tournament. And joining us via Zoom, we have Leslie Sanchez, who is the Destination Development Officer at BTB. Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So what we're going to learn this morning, a bit of what sports and BTB have in common. But we're also going to learn about this tournament and its reach. So let's start with coordinator, Mr. Renault. Let's speak a bit about the tournament and how it came to be.
Okay, morning again. Well, the Anthony Mala BTB tournament, we will be starting this Saturday. We have 8 teams. We play every Saturday for the next 9 weeks. We play the games simultaneously. We'll use the field. The field will be part in 2. So we have field 1 and field 2. So we have 2 game on field 1 and 2 game on field 2.
Is this a traditional tournament, or is this the first time we're hosting this?
No, this tournament is 7 years old.
7 years
Yeah, from
old.
2012 to up to now, but the COVID stopped us for the last 2 years. But the tournament was under Smart Mundialito.
Okay.
Yeah, under Anthony.
Okay,
under
good.
Mr. Mala.
Yes.
No Minister Mala.
So now it's on the
BTB and Anthony Mala.
And Eldon, you've participated in this tournament?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Are you too old to participate in it now?
Yeah, good.
You're too old now, right? Because the age limit is, what's the age limit?
It's a U13 tournament.
U13.
You have to be the year 2009, 2010, 2011.
Yeah, what was your experience like with this tournament? I would imagine it was a part of your development stage and basic love for the sport.
It was a great experience, to be honest. Like, helped me a lot develop in football, or in Billy's where you are. Like, it helped you get away from trouble, keep you at peace at the field, and you meet new people. Your kids, most importantly with kids, things always flow good. You know, good development with these guys, good structure, everything is organized, and that was it.
So I want to bring in Leslie into the conversation. So tell us more about how BTB is sponsoring and hosting this year's Mundialito.
Well, indeed, this year BTB, along with Minister Mala, is sponsoring the Mundialito. No, I personally had the privilege to be in the streamline while the Mundialito had been kicked off in the past years, along with Stanley Renault and Tyron Young. BTB contribution is very impacting, as I know that when it comes to the Mundialito, I know you guys, you like to hear the word Mundialito. Mundialito actually means little World Cup. So this is like a little World Cup for the under 13 kids that allows for them to get the discipline, like Eldon rightly said, keep them away from trouble. So we believe that this initiative is very impacting and it's going to contribute tremendously. Hence the reason why BTB, along with Minister Mala, had ventured into sponsoring this tournament.
And when are we expecting to see this launch?
This launch is going to be this Saturday. We have an opening ceremony from 10 in the morning until 10:30. So this Saturday we start, and for the next 10 weeks we will have this tournament with the kids. And at the end of the tournament we award them, and like Stanley mentioned, they get an opportunity to even travel to the FC Barcelona camp in Miami. So it's not only local, we have a follow-up that these kids get to get an international exposure and to get a feel of what football is like on an international level. So the development of it is tremendous, and I believe that this is a great opportunity for BTB to partner with Minister Mala.
Let's talk a little bit more about that opportunity, Mr. Renault, that you've been seeing the kids through in terms of that international experience as well. What has that been like for these children?
Well, from the start of the Mundialito, we started 2012.
Yeah.
From 2012 to 2019. One year we have two tournaments in one season, opening tournament and closing tournament. The first year, Hatterville United won. We have Brown Bombers, who Eldon played for all his years, have 3 championships. City Boys have 2. And Ladyville Rising Stars have, they are the defending champion.
Are they?
They are the last 2 champions of the Mundialito.
Yeah.
They are coached by Mr. Daniel Smith. He's one of our top coaches in the country. He's also a coach on the U17 national team.
How important do you think this tournament is to these young persons' development in the sport? Do you see that they grow a passion for it and move on?
Well, as you can see, our goal when we started was to get players to the A national team and players committed to go to college. We have Mr. Eldon Reno, who is on our A national team. He's 18 years old.
Is he?
18 years old, and he's on our A national team. He's the captain of the U18 national team. Just played the UNCAF tournament two weeks ago. Wow. He scored 2 goals. His goal was the best goal for the week for UNCAF.
Are you right there quiet, you know?
I know that it's nothing humble standards, but I want to get into how you coordinate these teams. How do you get them to come together, and how do you select the competitions?
Well, myself as the chairman of the Belize District Football Association, so we have Congress members and we have coaches, and so I just related to the coaches and from different areas, and they get their teams and they register their teams.
Where are these teams from, and how many teams do we have in this year?
Well, this year we only have 8 teams. The reason why we just started off a COVID. When the Mundialito started in 2012, we started with 6 teams. We went all the way up to 14 teams. That's 14. That's 14 by 16 players. Got 16 players per team. So we did have like 200 plus every Saturday at the MCC ground.
And where are these teams from?
Okay, we have from Belize City. We have for this tournament, out of the 8 teams, we have 2 rural teams. We have one from Hatterville, and we have one from Ladyville Hatterville Youth Sporting Club, and we have Ladyville Rising Stars. We used to have Heights FC and then 2 Ladyville teams.
Okay. All right, good. So it's Belize District. This focus in the Belize District
yeah.
mostly. Eldon, let's talk a bit about how this tournament, Mundialito, shaped your passion for the sport, and what's your dream for the sport right now?
My dream is to help change the youth's life, a quick development from you're young, in football. Football can take you places, to be honest. But me, while I've experienced in football, it take me a lot of places. Great development, to the player I am today. It helped me a lot. I was actually one of the players who got picked to go to the Barcelona camp.
Okay. How was that experience?
It was a great experience.
Was it? Yeah. What are some of the things that stood out to you?
Different. The football over here is way different from Belize. It's way better. That is where all the kids dream to reach. That is one of my dreams to play outside, and hope one day I could be out there too.
You know, it's interesting that we have you here, Eldon, because you're offering the sport from a youth perspective, and recently we saw the killing of a young athlete in San Ignacio at least a part of the issue was the fees that was being charged at the football field. Now, I'm not going to ask you about the fees, but I do want to get your perspective in terms of ways you think the sports can the sport can offer more to youths. What are some of the things you think lacking that needs to be offered?
Well, first off, that as a humble kid, he was actually on the team with us.
Was he?
Yeah, but he didn't make it to the final cut.
Okay.
We all didn't know what happened at the field, but to be honest, you just have to leave it in God's hands. And on the other hand, I feel like we could change sports in football, have more youth academies, have more people interested in football, more sponsors. Football can really change a lot of youth's life. A lot of gangs in Belize. So from a young age, my parents put me into football. I used to go to camps. The camps help a lot, the youth camps. Keep all the youths in one space, together. like togetherness is better than anything. So like if you have every youth together from a young age, they can develop together. And, you know, and that togetherness can bring more kids together more and more.
Where are you from?
From Penn Road.
Okay,
Belize
so you
City.
are from Belize City, born and raised.
Yeah, but I don't play in Belize City anymore.
Okay. Yeah. You export your talent. Yeah.
Eldon played for the Verdes FC.
Do you?
Yeah, the champion team.
Wow, wow. This speaks to the product that's developed under tournaments and like Mundialito, which offers an opportunity for younger players to develop their skills, correct?
Yeah, to be honest, Eldon is one of our product from the Mundialito, playing he played from he was 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on the U15 national team, U17. No, he's the captain of the U18. He's on the A team. We went to Santo Domingo in November, and Eldon was scouted by Chicago Fire. Yeah, he was scouted by Chicago Fire.
Okay, so committed yet?
he isn't committed yet, but for the tournament that was held 2 weeks ago, he get a lot of offers.
Do I would imagine within the tournament there's also other promising talents that you're looking at.
It's not only Eldon. We have a lot of talent from Belize and from the country in a whole.
Yeah. Like I said before, like I think in our country, like after tournaments, like we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Like I'm the only player on my team that, well, 2 of us who play with professional clubs, like who train well and things. The other players maybe go home back to their families and stuff. Like we don't see each other often because, like, you know, the age difference.
Yeah.
Like they can't play again and stuff like that. That's why I say, like, if you can have camps, any age, like different ages, like keep us together.
I want you to come back and play for your Belize team and make we get to then the international standards that you're talking about.
You got to change the youth's life from a young age, you know? Because like if you change it from a young age, they can get into gangs and things like, they got to have something to do then. Because if they don't have something to do, their mind stray and they go into other stuff.
Leslie, I want to talk to you about where this tournament will be held, what time, what can we look forward to for the next coming weeks?
Well, the tournament will be held at MCC grounds starting this Saturday at, I believe, after the tournament, the ceremony had kicked off the way at 10:30. We will then start until about 1 o'clock. And after this, it's going to be weekly, every Saturday at MCC from 10 in the morning until midday. So Saturday we start.
How many games?
We have 4 games. We have 8 teams. And then we play simultaneously. We have field 1 and field 2. With the Mundialito, when we started the Mundialito, we used to have 11 aside. We used to have the goals above the 18s. But we modified to the Caricador, which is 8 aside. And we played 3 quarters. The first quarter, the first 8, the second quarter, the second 8, and the third quarter, any 8. The reason why by the third quarter, everybody had already have an opportunity to play. So if our parents go out there, the minimum they can see their child play is 8 minutes, which is very good.
And you encourage that.
That's a rule. That's a rule.
It is a rule.
It is a rule. That's a rule. Yeah. That's a Caricador rule.
Where was that rule when I was playing sports and I used to bench me all game? Like I needed that rule. And that's why
it's development.
That's why I'm not an athlete and I'm a talk show host at this point. Mr. Sanchez, let me just ask you quickly, why is it that BTB sees it as important to invest in these types of, and to back these types of events?
Well, BTB see it as important to back these types of events and invest in these type of events because, like Eldon rightly said, when it comes to sports, I myself was an athlete before. I used to ride across country. I used to participate in extracurricular activities. I was a part of the police youth corps, and these type of activities do help to shape these youths and keep them positive, keep them from astray. So when it comes to BTB contribution, along with Minister Mala, this is very, very important, and definitely it's a domino effect that eventually the country will benefit from these type of initiative.
All right, well, Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Eldon, I see you have a ball there. If you don't mind, throw it over on this side. We don't usually do these things on set, but this you need to blow up this ball. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on set and for sharing with us about this amazing initiative that you're taking on. Any final words, Mr.
Yeah, I would like to say thanks to Minister Mala for the last 12 years. He has been with us for the last 12 years. I would like to say thanks to the parents, to the fans, to the players.
Okay, Eldon, any final thoughts?
I just hope like the youths have fun. Like this helped them a lot. So I just hope that. Well, I will be there on Saturday.
You will.
Again, yeah.
Okay, so you'll be speaking with them. Perfect. Such an encouraging and inspiring young man, Mr. Sanchez. Any final thoughts? I'll hold the ball.
Well, again, I'm looking forward to. I will be out there myself, as I will be out there to ensure that the coordination is run and we get to experience this great opportunity. So I encourage the fans to come out and support your team. We also even have, as Stanley didn't mention, we have some females. So it's not just about the males. We have some females that also participate in this tournament. So come out and see you all on Saturday.
Is there a fee to come in and
It's
watch?
free.
What?
Everything is free.
All right.
All right, well,
we know what we did this weekend.
Going to
Go watch
watch some Mundialito.
All
Just
right.
they should invite you just to announce the opening, right? So you could set a word Mundialito to the entire audience. We'll take another break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela and my name is Kieran. Today we're going to be learning how to put on makeup.
Connecting people. Creating memories. Sharing a smile. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
And we are back just like that, Paul. We never get no food today.
Well, you know, you win some, you lose some. Next week we'll make sure that we tell the producer to line up another salad like last week. But it's been a great show this morning.
Great conversation.
We started with the most important population census that begins tomorrow. So persons from the Statistical Institute of Belize, interviewers, they'll be deployed across the country beginning tomorrow in vehicles, on foot, on horseback, in canoes.
I know you want to go find horseback.
Listen, you might even see a few dropping in on parachutes in some of the most remote areas. And no, they're not there to sell you any products, or they're not there to come and collect any outstanding debts that you may owe.
Yes.
So don't close your doors on them. Don't peep through the window, or don't tell your children to say, "Mommy not here."
You know,
Mommy say not here.
You know, one of the things that I think most Belizeans don't understand or realize is that how do you think we get the information? How do you think that we get to talk about, you know, the percentage of poverty rate, the percentage of demographics, and so forth? It's because you have people like those in the Statistical Institute that have to go out there and do the field work and do the interviews to get the accurate information.
I mean, this census, the information gathered, for example, on education within a community, informs policymakers, informs the finances in terms of whether or not more is needed, investments in this community for education, whether or not there is a need to establish a preschool or a primary school. If you notice the growth of that community has expanded, and this then could inform you that, you know what, these people may need their own health facility because they've reached that size where if they go to the neighboring health facility, it's beginning to become overwhelming, and we're beginning to see why now in terms of income, if this information could inform policymakers and the finances, again, in terms of whether or not more employment opportunities are needed in these communities. And so, I mean, the possibilities are endless. And it's so important, and I definitely plan to take part in the census whenever they catch me at home. Hopefully they're able to catch me at home.
But remember also that you can be a participant and you can also apply to be an interviewer. They're still in need of about 300 recruiters left. So if you're somebody in a community, if you just finished high school and you really have nothing to do over the summer, you know, they need you between May 12th, tomorrow, and July, ending of July, because that's how long the process is supposed to take. So, you know, the idea of collecting accurate data, right? We have to be a part of that. We have to take part. We have to participate and make sure that we have that, like Paul rightfully mentioned, things like poverty rate, unemployment rate, education, health facilities, financial rates. We need to be able to be aware of that. How many people actually can afford to pay taxes? How many people can't? You know, that does generate information for the betterment and development of our country. So like Paul rightfully mentioned, not close your door. You provide the data, it's completely confidential. They just need the numbers. But I also enjoyed our discussion with our friends from Digi. Anytime Digi comes, it's always a fun show when Digi is here because they have all these great deals. And, you know, I forgot that Cashfest was this weekend until they mentioned it. And they're like, we going to Cashfest, we have Digi-wallet there, we have all of these Digi deals. Go out and enjoy it.
Cashfest is definitely a pre-pump for Agric show. It always is. Or sometimes it comes after, and then
well, you know,
Agric show
just like
pre-pump.
Agric, it's been pushed this year as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So the good thing about Cashfest is that it is an event that is known across the nation, and that people travel from near and far to visit Cashfest because the cashew products, the cashew wine, the things you find that people would make with cashew in Crooked Tree Village, it's amazing. And so to hear that Digi will be out there, Digi-wallet, Digi-net, with their promotions, with their top-ups, with cash prizes to win and giveaways and stuff like that. That's exciting. And so that's something to do this Saturday.
There's so many things to do this weekend.
So many things to do this weekend, because then, of course, in our final conversation, we spoke about the Mundialito tournament. We had a great conversation with BTB, the coordinator, as well as one of the former players. And we see how this event is impacting the lives of young people.
I really love that. I mean, I couldn't stop congratulating Eldon on the success, and he has been playing since he was 8 years old. He is a legitimate product of this Mundialito tournaments, and so he said it himself. It's something to give to the youths in a form of discipline, something to do with your lives, and to be a part of a collective team. So it's wonderful to see the initiative that's taken place with BTB and Anthony Mahler.
All right.
Well, you know, it's always that time of the day where we have to wrap up our show. But before we do that, we want to remind all of you that it's Teachers Day.
It is.
Yes, it's Teachers Day. It's Education Week, and it's Teachers Day. And I know you all had a lovely segment last night on the news, kind of talking about teachers and the way they impacted your lives individually here with the staff at Channel 5. And I mean, I didn't catch all of them, but it seems to me that whenever we discuss teachers, or whenever we try to commemorate teachers, especially during this pandemic.
Let me just cut in and say Happy Teachers Day to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do. You know, I never think of myself as a teacher.
No?
No, I'm a guide.
April is a teacher, by the way, for those who may not be aware of her day job, not her morning assignment.
One of her day jobs
is a teacher
at UB.
At UB.
Yes, I'm a history teacher. I'm an anthropology teacher.
So amazing.
But thank you. But I often think that sometimes we forget. And even though, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because yes, I specialize in history and anthropology, but I have to give that credit to primary and secondary school teachers who have to know almost everything. Teachers are the ones that make you and I. Teachers are the ones that make your doctors and your lawyers and your policemen and so forth. And so sometimes we forget that that they're there. But we also need to remind the population that even though it's Teachers Week and Education Week, that education starts from the home, from your parents. And to never forget that that's where you begin your first lessons, your first ideas, and so forth, and then you enter the classroom.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Happy Teachers Day.
Right. That's right.
I also want to continue the conversation in terms of what more we have to do this weekend. So just to remind everybody, you have Project X, you have the Mundialito, you have the SIB Census. That's all taking place this weekend.
All right, so to close this morning's show, we'll have an address from Prime Minister John Briceño, who recently spoke. He presented about an hour ago at the second Global Summit. And so that is how we'll sign off for this morning, April. So
should we close off, or should we just?
No, let's do our
outgoing. Okay, so if you have any questions or concern, you can always drop us a link at or send us a message at oye@channel5belize.com. Okay, it's not appearing. Or catch us on our socials on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, or on Instagram at OYBBelize. We want to thank you all so much for waking up. You started your morning right with us here at Channel 5. And for those of you out there near and far, remember to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. So here is Prime Minister John Briceño presentation at the second Global Summit. Until tomorrow, bye.
Briceño, who can speak about COVID-19 response and recovery efforts in the Caribbean, especially as CARICOM chair. We're grateful for his partnership and leadership. Mr. Prime Minister, you have the floor.
Excellencies, greetings.
Thank you, President Biden, for convening this second COVID-19 summit. I also welcome the other co-hosts and extend thanks to everyone for your commitment to lead on the global response to the pandemic. Thus far, significant advancements have been made in areas such as surveillance, testing, rapid development of vaccines, and antiviral treatments. As a result of this, many countries are witnessing declines in serious death cases and deaths. But the pandemic is not over. Global testing rates have been declining. Presently, low and low middle income countries account for only 20% of testing globally, even though we account for over half of the global population. Recent figures show a 15.4% increase in new infections in the Caribbean. Deaths increased for the third consecutive week by 39.6% as compared to the previous week. According to the WHO, reported cases in Africa are also rising. Many countries, including several in CARICOM, are far below the targeted 70% of the population vaccinated and are unlikely to get there by September. Low testing, lack of capacity in sequencing, lack of access to vaccines, and high cost of treatments slow the pace of ending the acute phase of the pandemic and create a global environment conducive to virus mutation. As well, it undermines the good progress that has been made. Presently, Latin America and the Caribbean has been the hardest hit region in the world, accounting 20% of infections and 30% of deaths from the virus. This while our region accounts for only 8% of the global population. As it relates to our economies, in 2020, Caribbean economies contracted on average by 6% above the 4.4 contraction worldwide and grew on average by only 1% last year. We say then that now is the time to double on what we know works: testing, vaccination, treatments, and appropriate public health measures. We must accelerate efforts to inoculate 70% of the global population, especially those with comorbidities. CARICOM is committed to this global goal. To get there, however, will require more efforts to improve accessibility to vaccines, including pediatric vaccines. Likewise, financing and political commitment are required to overcome operational and logistical impediments in difficult to reach areas and to access vaccine hesitancy. In Belize, 59% of our population are fully vaccinated. We hope to soon access pediatric vaccines to further enhance the number of persons fully vaccinated. Excellencies, CARICOM leaders are committed to redouble communication messages and accelerate public education efforts to address this misinformation, myths, and other drivers and enablers of vaccine hesitancy at all levels. CARICOM heads have further directed regional institutions to examine the social and financial viability to develop vaccine manufacturing capacity for the region. Access to vaccine in a timely manner has been a critical weakness of the global response. At the same time, we must maintain access to testing and to sequencing, which are essential to detecting, tracking, and responding to new COVID variants. Belize, with the support of international partners like the US government and the World Bank, received geometric sequencing equipment to detect COVID-19 variants, as well as the related training for our laboratory technicians. This is helping us to develop our capacity to analyze virus samples. We know that the next battleground in our fight against the pandemic will be in treatment. Therefore, we must do all possible to ensure that antiviral medications are available to everyone as soon as possible. Access to treatment in our present is our moral test, and we must not fail. So let us strengthen the global health architecture and ensure it is sustainably financed. As for us in Belize, we are doing our part. We have increased our budget for health, expanded our national health insurance to cover more Belizeans, and strengthened our awareness campaign. Excellencies, important lessons have already been learned from the pandemic. Some painful, too many tragic. But we can also celebrate the victories, like our power to collaboration and cooperation, like the depth of human ingenuity and brilliance we have seen in so many of our people, like the compassion, empathy, and solidarity spread across oceans and seas, like the unprecedented public-private partnerships we have fostered, including today's summit, which stands on the foundation and is imbued with that spirit. This is how we overcome this pandemic, working together as one global family. Once again, to President Biden, to the heads of state of Indonesia, Germany, and Senegal, leading this summit, and to all gathered in this viral space, I thank you.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.